right, so picture this. 3 women all sitting around mics pretending we know what we're talking about. I'm kidding. But you bet your sweet ass we know. I'm sure we'll get sidetracked 15 times, but hang on. The ride will be worth it. That's us. I'm your host, Jess, back in the hot seat, and in my presence, steaming up the room, is my co-host,
Ashlee Robbins here. Can't wait to talk about this one.
Oh my God, she looks so good. And join us in the studio today. Please welcome once again the stunning. She's got brains, beauty, desires, sexy passion, and way good taste in podcasts. That's why she's joining us. Welcome, Charlene Williams.
Yay.
Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
Really good. And you know what?
Why?
Because today we're going to be talking about some serious and some not so serious criteria.
Did you do
Nice.
air quotes?
I'm doing air quotes. As we,
Air quotes.
You know that.
You know that
Yep.
that's like a no-no in the kid world.
Is
When
it
you
really?
do air quotes, they say it's like, yeah, you're a boomer when you do the air quote.
Oh my God,
So
an
that's
air
okay.
boomer.
I like the air quotes.
We're also going to talk about Gen Zs, Gen Xs, Gen Ys,
All right, let's do
millennials.
it.
So I'm air quoting. What does that make me?
Whatever.
Hip.
It makes you cool.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now that we found out you're not a baby boomer,
I'm not.
We're
Okay.
all Gen Xers. That's right.
you know what? Damn right. So we're going to talk about some health chat, some real talk, and a recent sexual assault attempt that's happened in our area. And because we want to keep you on your toes, we will be winging the rest as usual. But stick around to the very end because we will be tuning it all and turning all the tables around for everyone's favorite game show, Jeopardy! Woo! But first, we're going to talk about, I want to bring it in with the sexual assault attempt that
Okay.
happened in our area
Okay,
in
yeah.
Citrus Springs, Florida.
Okay, so do either one of you know about the story?
No.
Okay. Do you know a little bit?
A
Jess?
little bit, but I want to know more.
Okay. So it happened that I was at my neighbor's house a couple weeks ago, and they are newly moved to Florida from Colorado. And so they don't know the area as much as like we do, right?
Right.
So they don't know the neighbors. Like we know all of our neighbors, even though we live in the rural part of Citrus Springs where we all have acreage, right? But we know our neighbors fairly well. And so we're sitting there. We had swim in their pool. We had eaten dinner. And she's like, she works from home. Okay. So she said, "Do you know that there was like a lady that came by here?" Because we were talking about like crime and how Citrus County is getting bigger and we're going to have more crime. And she said there was a young lady that was banging on our door at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I said, "What?" And she goes, "I didn't even know." She said, "I was already tuned in for work." She said, "But I thought I heard a banging, like whatever." And her husband is retired firefighter. And he was up, but they didn't hear it, okay? So I guess what happened was she went across the street. She was banging on several doors was what ended up happening, but she went across the street.
So she lived in the neighborhood. She was
does not
neighbors.
live in the neighborhood. Let me just tell you the story. So
Okay.
she went across the street. Then the police came and they saw this commotion and then they figured out what happened. They went to go talk to her and whatever. So apparently, this is a crazy story, you guys. So she tells this incredible story, okay, that she is house sitting for a good friend, okay. Now, we happen to know the son lives there. He's 18 years old, almost 19 years old, so he's my son's age. They know each other as acquaintances. They used to go to the same gym together. We kind of watched them kind of grow up together. Not that they were friends, but like we know the family
Right.
well. So this woman, who is in her 60s, by the way, is house sitting for her friend.
That's you, Charlene.
Okay.
That's me.
Okay. Right. So the mother had to go out of town for something. I think it was a medical procedure. The father travels doing different work, so he was not home either. So my first thought was, why can't your 18-year-old son watch your animals, your
Right.
dog, and your chickens? Okay.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives you a little bit of insight about the mentality that we're talking about. Okay. So she said, yep, she's staying at the house while they're gone. She's staying there. She's feeding the animals, whatever. She said that around 2 o'clock in the morning, she got up just to get a drink or something, maybe use the bathroom. And this boy, man, I say man, right? This man came in who lives there, Dominic.
gosh.
Okay? He lives in the house, so he's there.
Okay.
He woke up. He was talking with her, and she said, I was getting right away that like he was not making sense. So I didn't know if he was on something or something had
Obviously
happened. But
he
she
was.
said he
Right.
was very drunk, okay? Very, very drunk. She did not know that at the time. She said he came up behind her and hugged her. Now, in the arrest report, it says this was not unusual. So they know each other like that.
Okay.
They know each other like if I were to hug you, Jessica, you wouldn't be like, oh. So to hug her from behind, she didn't get any red flags, okay?
Okay.
But then he wouldn't let her go.
Oh.
And she said, what are you doing? And he said, I'm going to rape you. Yeah.
Oh.
And she said, "What are you talking? Like, you know, trying to whatever." He took her glasses and threw them across the room, and then drug her to his room. He's a big boy, like he's a fighter. Like, you know, my kids do Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. This kid is like he could be a professional fighter. He knows his way around body mechanics, so it was very easy to overpower her. She said that he would not let her go. He laid on top of her and proceeded to. She said he couldn't keep an erection because he was drunk, but he was using his fingers, hands, whatever.
Oh, so he actually
did rape her. Yeah. Threw her phone away, threw her glasses away, and then proceeded to fall asleep on top of her. So when she caught on that he was passed out, she was able to sneak out from underneath him. She had a hard time finding her keys, but she finally found her keys. She couldn't find her phone or her glasses. And this has all been corroborated once the police went to the scene. There was many liquor bottles under the bed. He actually was live streaming with a friend doing like gaming. So there's actually, I think, live stream footage of the audio.
I'm doing air annoyance, not air quotes, because
Right.
I'm so sick of the gaming stuff.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
linked to so much.
But like,
We
so-
don't live in a reality
no.
world that
And what
way.
is really crazy is that we end up having like a contact through Brittany at work. This Dominic was dating one of her clients' daughters, and they were very afraid. And so
The night that it happened, it was prom night for Citrus County.
Yep.
And Brittany did, I'm not going to say her name.
Right.
And she was doing her hair at the shop. And she had just broken up with him, Dominic.
yes,
And he was outraged. He was like irate about it. And he wouldn't leave her alone. He must have called over 50 sometimes.
they said that they have a record of him calling her over 30 something times, and then he followed her to her job. He would follow her home from work, and so this has been going on. She tried to get a protective order. They didn't really take her seriously for whatever reason. Now they are, of course.
Yeah.
But
He told her that he did this to this woman because she broke up with him.
yes, and so when, long story short, when they told the mother, that's what she said too. She said, "I don't know why you just went and talked to him. This would have never happened."
gosh,
And
that's
they
why
put
he
it
did what he
on-
did.
They put it on this young girl.
Oh my gosh.
Like, why would you ever say something like that to a young girl when this is obviously 100% your child's fault?
Right.
And there's something wrong with him, right?
Yes.
Violent tendencies and something wrong with him. This is a friend of the family. How do you do that to someone that you know?
Oh.
I
At all,
hate
but
the
yeah.
gaming stuff. I hate it. I really do. And it's, all the violence.
Don't
is-
you think it's desensitized?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
I do too.
I mean, so you have this graphic is blood splattering everywhere, gun
Cursing
shooting,
and theft
Yes.
and robbery and
hookers, all of
Yeah.
it. And then, yes, I really do.
drug
I-
use, all of it.
That's
Yeah,
where
all of it.
sometimes I feel so out of touch with reality of we have totally desensitized people that we bring small children, 5 years old, 7 years old, 10 years old, whatever it is, to play these games that they're allowed to cuss, outrun the cops, call women hoes,
Right. And watch shows like that as
and
well.
watch TV shows that blood and guts are just acceptable.
One of my clients, her daughter told me that her favorite TV show was True Blood, and she was 7. If you've never watched True Blood on HBO,
Yes.
it's
No.
basically
It's an adult show.
It's vampire porno.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
what
my
it is.
Gosh.
Yeah, and her daughter was allowed to watch that.
So one of the things Cut and Loose Chronicles podcast is about is bringing back personal touch.
Yeah.
To eliminate all that. Like when you go to the bank, you can't even get a teller.
Right.
No.
No more. It's all
No more.
screen.
Or it's going to be
Yes.
AI pretty soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's, if we don't do something, that is going to be, all these things that are happening are going to be more.
You're right. We need
prominent,
to actually
more and more.
Yes, we need to fight for that. We need to fight. Like we were just talking about it on a smaller level with Brittany about scheduling. Like how we like to do it, me and you like to do it through paper and talking on the phone to our clients. We don't
Right.
like to do it through a social media
Right.
app because
Right.
I just feel like you lose that personal connection. We have a personal connection
Yes.
with our clients. You know what I mean? And I think newer hairdressers, they don't have that.
No.
They don't have that as much.
Everything is automated. You don't talk back in the day because I am 60, not 60s.
6D.
Just the one.
Generation
Just the
X.
one.
Wait,
One,
she's,
yes.
she's a Z.
We're all X's.
We're X's.
Yeah.
We're X's.
With a room full of X's.
In Texas? Yeah. Anyway, I digress.
That's why I hang my hat in Tennessee.
Oh, George, talk to me. Okay. So my mother every week faithfully went to her hairdresser, but there was a receptionist who took your phone call, who wrote things down.
Sure.
And we've just gotten away from that because of everybody's so busy.
Yeah, I know.
Well, everybody's so busy that now we don't have time for personal interactions.
Isn't that funny? We always say that. Like,
How are we busier than what we were
That's-
before?
We're not.
Okay, we're not.
But we're not.
It's about being lazy. It's about making
Absolutely.
our lives
we
easier.
think that by being open 24/7 that's going to make our lives easier, and it's actually made them so much more difficult.
Absolutely.
It's taken away jobs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, things used to be closed on Sunday. You just
Yeah.
didn't do your business on Sunday. And it was fine. It was not a
Yes.
big deal. And now we can go anytime we want, and we still are wasting so much time. It's so
Yes.
weird. Yeah.
So that's horrible. What is the outcome? What's the latest status
So
on
this is crazy. Now, I don't know. This is really weird because I read the arrest report, and it said that he was being held on no bond, which I was like, good.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
No, he's out. He's
Of
out.
course.
He's out. So, because this is a neighbor, so I see them.
You see them.
Yeah, apparently, I don't know if the parents fought or something happened because he's out. And I was shocked about that. I'm shocked.
So at Cuttin Salon, the salon that Ash and I work at, Charlene is a client at and a supporter. We had a murder next door to our salon 2 years ago. And they say it was Denellen, Florida's first murder in
31 years or something. Yeah.
And it had to do with a crime of passion to where this guy was shot in the wiener. But anyway, so it was a drug thing.
It
whatever.
was, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a big ordeal, and I got to be on TV.
Yes, you did. You got to be interviewed on local news. Quite the celebrity.
Telling about the crackheads around us. But anyway, the guy who did the shooting, they went on to find that it was this guy out of Ocala, Florida.
Yeah, it took him a while to find him, too.
It did. He has been in jail, a prison now for the past 2 years.
And he committed multiple crimes before
Yes,
that,
he
right?
did.
Okay.
And he's charged with killing the young man who
Yes.
was, I'm not going to say his name, but it's all over. I just don't remember. His name is Eric.
Yeah.
And he just got released from prison.
You just told me this, and I was shocked. What? Why?
They said that there wasn't enough proof to keep him in prison.
So let me ask you something. So, yeah, obviously had to have a trial. Did he request, like, a retrial?
I don't know.
Or they found out some
All I
evidence?
know, it's been on the news.
So this is so funny that you say that, because when it happened, you and me both thought that it wasn't
is.
him, and it was Goldie.
Yep.
And that, listen, doesn't that kind of make you wonder?
It makes us confirmed that who we think, her name is and our salon. To the right of us, we have a crack house.
Right.
To the left of us, we have a crack house. And to the front of us, we have a crack house. And
But stop. Let me tell you, as a client
Hammer time.
perspective, it is a beautiful salon. and I do not see
Thank
any
you.
crack as I pull up. I don't see any crack when I leave. And when I walk in, it's all about the person. So thankfully, they're not.
I'm so glad that
Impeding
it's,
your-
but,
you don't see it.
But what's crazy is over the last 20 years, this has happened.
Yeah.
Me, Jessica, Kim, all the girls at the salon have called the police about numerous incidents that you guys might have never seen.
Right.
But we are at the dead end of a middle school.
Right.
So it is shocking that they really were kind of reluctant until this murder,
Yeah.
to do something
And
about
I'd like to report that now the house to the right of us is no longer a
No,
crack house.
it's
It's an
an
Airbnb.
Airbnb.
And
Oh,
the house
nice.
to the left of us is no longer a crack house. It is a empty house
it.
that is being
It needs
taken
to be
over by
bulldozed
roots.
and made a parking lot out of it.
And the house in front of us is another Airbnb.
Yeah.
I'm doing air quotes. And
Is it hourly, though?
An hourly
Okay. Okay, good.
minute rates.
you.
You stinker.
So our neighborhood has cleaned up a bit.
Yeah.
That's
but
good. I
there
wanted to
is-
make sure it was an hourly.
And out of all the equation, and in the past, since we've been there 20 years, there has been a total of 3 murders.
Yeah.
The only one is credited as a murder. The other 2 are
Blunt force trauma was
right,
one.
right.
Oh.
But the whole common denominator is this one person named.
The center of all of this stuff.
She's a black widow.
Like the blunt force trauma. Come on, man. We saw her like the day before. It was pretty crazy. They were fighting in the front yard, and then suddenly overdoses and gets.
What about the
thousands-
man, the old man with elephantitis?
Yes, that comes out with cocaine on his nose.
Next thing we come to work, everything's cool. Then we look out our window. There's a forensics van.
There's a forensic
Oh, that's
van.
never a good sign.
Yellow tape on the shop, like.
Oh, not good. Not good.
So to all our clients, come on in. There's hair at a show.
Yeah.
Come on out. We all wrapped up their hair in foils and went on the porch and sat on the swing in the rocking chairs and we watched the
We
show.
watched it.
The forensics
got
van.
wheeled out of there.
Yep. We had some popcorn.
When the murder happened, they had the whole shop roped off. Remember that? We couldn't even get into our
they
own
didn't give
salon.
a crap
They did
that
not
we
care.
were a business. So when the murder 2 years ago with the passion wiener shot where he got blown his wiener off, we had to look at the bed in the backyard.
They drug it out, and they left it there.
That's a thing that I guess crime scenes nobody realizes. You assume, because we watch TV and everything's solved in
Police
episode.
They do not clean it up.
No,
Yeah.
no. There is actually companies.
Yes.
They are biohazardous companies because it is not their job to go in and clean up afterwards.
Sure.
I believe there's a guy named Micah Eddie.
It is
out of
Micah
Citrus
Eddie.
County,
Let's
Florida.
give him a
shout out.
To Micah
Absolutely.
Eddie. Yeah, he does the crime scene cleanups.
But that could be from a crime, or that could be natural causes.
Oh
and
yeah,
they've been
they're
left
like restoration specialists, right? Or like a fire, but they do all of that kind of stuff, right?
But
It's
also,
special
like
license
people,
for it.
if someone dies naturally in their home and nobody found them for 7 days, or
They
God
go in there
knows,
and do that.
They clean all that stuff up.
The job
there
that
like a-
nobody else wants to
Right.
do.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
there's a really special license for that, right?
Oh,
Like a
absolutely.
biohazard
Yeah.
license.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And
to
he
think about.
has background in law enforcement.
Oh, so there you go.
he
So that's
knows-
good. That's
yeah.
a good thing.
Yeah.
But wow, that's
But as the people who live around them, or imagine the person who lives in the home, it's nobody's job to clean up that carpeted
I know,
blood
isn't that crazy?
pool.
And these are like I guess
Yeah.
things that you learn as you experience life.
Okay, first thing, you two. Take the body, stick it in the trunk. Now, Jimmy, this looks to be a pretty domesticated house. That would lead me to believe that in the garage, you're under the sink, you got a bunch of cleaners and cleansers and shit like that?
Yeah, Mr. Wolf, under the sink.
Good. I need you two fellas to do is take those cleaning products and clean the inside of the car. I'm talking fast, fast, fast. You need to go in the back seat, scoop up all those little pieces of brain and skull. Get it out of there. Wipe down the upholstery. Now, when it comes to upholstery, it don't need to be spick and span. You don't need to eat off it. Just give it a good once-over. What you need to take care of are the really messy parts. The pools of blood that I've collected, you gotta soak that shit up. Now, Jimmy, we need to raid your linen closet. I need blankets, I need comforters, I need quilts, I need bedspreads. The thicker the better, the darker the better. No whites. Can't use them. We need to camouflage the interior of the car. We're gonna line the front seat and the back seat and the floorboards with quilts and blankets. So if a cop stops us and starts sticking his big snout in the car, the subterfuge won't last. But at a glance, the car will appear to be normal. Jimmy, lead the way. Boys, get to work.
Please would be nice.
Come again?
I said a please would be nice.
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do. And if self-preservation is an instinct you possess, you better fucking do it and do it quick. I'm here to help. If my help's not appreciated, lots of luck, gentlemen.
No, Mr. Wolf. It ain't like that. Your help is definitely appreciated.
Mr. Wolf, listen, I don't mean disrespect, okay? I respect you. I just don't like people barking orders at me, that's all.
If I'm curt with you, it's because time is a factor. I think fast, I talk fast, and I need you guys to act fast if you want to get out of this. So, pretty please, with sugar on top, clean the fucking car.
We pulled up, I pulled up to the shop in the morning. I was the first one there. The front door of this crack house was open, right? And the back door was open. And I was like, this does not look good, okay? I saw an arm hanging out of the back door. An arm, okay? And I was like, that person's dead. So I called the police, right? And I just said, listen, can you do a well check? I would just like you to do a well check on this house. And they knew the house. So they were like, yeah, we'll be right there.
We're on our way.
So they send their young female police officer, and she was great, but I see her go to the front door and like yell inside, and then no response. So then she goes to the back and she sees the arm. I watch her walk over it, and then she does a little bit of something. She comes back, and she asked if she could come to the shop after. And I said, yeah, please tell me what's going on. She said, there are multiple people in there that are passed out with needles in their arms.
Ew.
Yeah. And I said, can you not arrest them because they're actively doing drugs? And she said, not for a well check. I did not know that. She said, I'm not telling you this, but I'm telling you this. The next time you call, report suspicious activity and we can arrest. She said, for a well check, we are only allowed to check for proof of life, basically.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was a morning though I showed up to work and I looked out at the road and there was this man. So we have the middle school behind us, and so school is during school. So school
Right.
buses were flying by, just flying by, and I looked out across the street and there was this man doing. You could tell he was on
yeah, the
heroin.
dance,
He had his body bent like a pretzel,
And
and
just-
he stayed there for like 30 minutes, and we called it heroin aerobics.
Nice.
Or heroin yoga.
Yeah.
And he just bent his body in all these shapes, and all you could really do
It's like, watch.
was watch in amazement.
Just watch
Yeah.
it.
And say, is one of those school buses going to smack him?
Right.
One?
Wow.
And what about those kids? What if a school bus did? And all those
I know,
kids were traumatized
It's like
about
traumatic,
it.
right? There's some crazy stuff that has happened in Little Old Denellen over the
True.
years. Remember the SWAT team when they were looking for that guy that escaped from the Alabama prison, and he was at the Two Rivers Motel, and the SWAT was going through the yard of the salon.
Do you remember that?
Do you remember
No.
Charlene?
No.
You don't? How can... Yes, you do. Remember, he escaped from prison.
Yes.
and he took two
He took
women hostage,
hostages.
a mother and a daughter.
Yes.
And it's
Yes, I
at
do.
our salon in Denellen, Florida. There's the historic district in Denellen, and there's a hotel that's got the Blues Brothers statue, which a lot of
Everybody
people come
takes
To
a
take
photo.
pictures.
It's,
Yes.
it's an iconic photo
Opportunity.
Yeah. And so y'all come on down and take your picture with the Blues Brothers.
And just know that an Alabamian
Right.
Came and blew his brains out.
in one of those rooms.
Yep, and I think there might be some on Dan Aykroyd's face. But anyway, so he held them hostage in the hotel there. And next thing we know, we're just, woo, blowing drying hair and doing some perms and coloring and, and waxing some lips off. And then we get, everyone take cover.
It was like an air horn and
Yeah.
like a megaphone. It was like a Christmas Vacation when they go flying through the house and the SWAT team.
And it said, everyone was like, lockdown, lockdown.
Yes, it was a lockdown,
Like,
yeah.
Was there a hurricane coming? A tornado?
So army crawling through the parking lot.
And there was the guy, and he had them held hostage.
Yeah.
The prisoner, he was on the run. He grabbed these two women pumping gas at a gas
Yes,
station.
yes.
And he wound up releasing them and letting them go,
Thank God.
And then shot himself.
and then shot himself.
Yeah.
But I hear the comforters are nice, and the mattresses are really comfy.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
I'm sure. It's very
I'm sure they
nice.
put a picture over the bullet hole in the wall, so
I'm
it's
sure.
nothing to worry about anymore.
Nothing to see.
Hey, listen, the Chateau Marmont has many celebrities that overdosed and died in their hotel. Maybe it gives us clout.
good point.
Hey.
And they changed the Blues Brothers to the Natural Born Killers statues.
I love
So,
So it's all good.
come on down to
Yeah.
Denellen, Florida.
It's safe.
It's very safe.
And we now have a Hilton.
We have a Hilton?
No.
No.
What?
No.
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 Comfort. Comfort
Okay,
him.
I was
We'll
like,
leave that on for you.
Wait a minute.
No, wrong one. Not we'll leave
Right
it
behind the Walgreens.
Is
Not
it-
a
well,
Marriott, not a Hilton.
No, yeah, no.
Not adjacent to the
It's a
Rainbow
Comfort Inn
River.
and Suites.
Right.
Behind
Right.
the Dunkin' Donuts.
And not adjacent to the beautiful Rainbow River.
That's right.
No.
Not at all.
the beautiful Rainbow River to where Denellen offers. Also, Denellen, Florida is in the top 10 wedding spots.
Is it really?
The
Wedding venues?
out at these springs.
Really?
At the Head Springs.
My sister got married there. That makes sense.
Off the record. So did I at one of my weddings.
I remember that. I was there. Me too. Beautiful.
Maybe I'm not going to take this off the record. At the springs, it was in the
By the waterfalls.
Yes,
Yes.
all of it. It's in the top 10 places to get married in the state
Okay.
of Florida.
Very cool.
Nice.
We're not just podunk people,
No.
listeners.
No.
We bring real joy
That's right.
Joy.
and real opportunity
Yes.
for business, for vacation.
It's not just Florida
tourism.
man, right? Not just Florida man or Florida woman. We got some real good
No,
stuff here.
We do. When I was in banking, I helped crack a case for the FBI, had them on their 10 most wanted.
What?
It was a crime ring, a man and a woman.
Like a Bonnie and Clyde story?
Kind of, sort of, yeah. And their MO was to go to Walmart or Home Depot, steal your purse. Meanwhile, they've already stole Jess's purse. They've stole my purse.
Okay.
And go to the different banks and do less cash
Got you.
withdrawals.
Okay.
And the girl was the woman whose purse they stole.
Ah.
So I was managing the SunTrust in Denellen, and I'd trained my team. I always worked with the police because in banking, they give you these very outdated training videos
Yeah.
on security.
Right.
And I didn't believe in doing that. That's
Yeah.
not realistic.
Right.
Nobody knows what the gun looks like. We got to learn what a gun looks like and a rifle and a
Oh,
shotgun.
no. That's so
and-
stupid. What does it matter?
Right, all those things. So anyway, it was 2 minutes before 4. This man shows up at the office, and my hair on the back of my neck just went up.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. And so I was sitting in my office, and I had the view of the whole lobby. And I know we're going to close in 2 minutes, but I'm like, something's not right. Well, I trained them that if you see me do something that you say to yourself, what's she doing? Pay attention, because I obviously can't jump up and down and tell you what I'm doing.
Right.
So I had one man that worked for us, loved him, but it went right over his head. So I stand in my doorway. I didn't have good camera angles where I was standing.
Oh.
And so I'm talking to him, and I'm like, hi, what brings you in today? Oh, I'm thinking about opening an account. I won't go into the whole story. But I'm suspicious enough that I'm going, Oscar de la Renta octagon glasses, a members only jacket that was a big clue.
Yeah,
Because
so
who
that's like-
wears
that- I would
members
say, like,
only?
that stands out, right? So
Right.
that would
Who
stand
wears
out.
members only at that time of their
so
life?
he's not
first
trying to
of all?
blend in.
Right. And so I'm getting the whole, like, what he looks like for whatever reason. So I walk up to the teller line, and they had glass.
Okay.
And so I went to the girl because the guy was clueless.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, can you give me a brochure on the checking and savings accounts? And I just keep walking on both sides of this guy because I'm wanting him to turn with me.
Right, to see the
to get
cameras.
good
Ooh, that's
angles.
awesome.
That's good.
Oh, heck yeah,
Yeah,
man.
this
I'm
is
not
good.
just
I like
a
this.
pretty face.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And a nice ass. And a great set of tits.
Oh, Jess. You had to go there. Here's the line.
Gen X's.
So, anyway,
Here's the line.
You jumped over it.
you jumped way over it. So I get him out the door because now I'm looking at the drive-thru, and in the very last lane, I see a girl with a car door open, non-tinted windows, and she won't look at the bank. So I lock him out, and I go, "What's happening in the drive-thru?" So they're like, "I don't know. She wants cash back." So I look at it, and I'm just going to use your all's names. I go, "Call Jessica." Jessica lives in Tampa, Florida. Find out if this is her. So they're calling Jessica, and I yell out the window, "Hi, Jessica, how you doing today?" And she's not looking at me. Jessica. She doesn't know her name.
Right.
I kind of am looking at you, though.
I'm glad that you know your name.
I'm so happy you. Yes. Come to find out, she's not Jessica. We get Jessica on the phone who says, "No,
My purse was stolen.
my purse was stolen
Wow.
in Home Depot in Wesley Chapel.
Get out.
It was by a black man, short curly hair." And I'm like, aha.
Oh my gosh.
So now we call 911.
Yeah.
She starts panicking because she realizes how long it's taking us. Meanwhile, he's gone to the back of the building. So I get 911 on the phone. I said, "Look, they're about to run, but I'm pretty convinced this is what's happening." So sadly, the dispatcher, or I could have said it in haste, in a hurry, that when they left, I described the vehicle, the tag number. I said they were heading west, but they dispatched the cop to go east Pennsylvania. So they got away.
But come on.
I know.
How far could
But-
you get?
Well, I mean, we are a metropolis. So
Busy
there's
streets.
that. Thank God it wasn't now, because they would be stuck in traffic. Maybe
They would. They get stuck at
Yeah.
the light. Yeah.
We have the cooter cab.
Yeah.
That's true.
Cooter cab.
So weeks later, all of a sudden, a police officer shows up and throws down mugshots.
Oh wow, you picked him out.
And I looked at him, and he goes, "Do you remember the case that?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Do you see anything?" And I
Pointed right to
him.
it.
They go, "She just ID'd him." They caught them with garbage bags full of everybody's ID, all the purses,
They get a
all
lot of
the
money.
traveler's checks,
Man,
all
that's
the
amazing.
Wow.
official checks. They were a huge
Listen,
ring.
this would have helped you out, just so you know. But me and Jessica and the girls at the shop have a code word when we need help, and
Okay.
it's "Have you seen my yellow comb?"
It's lime green.
Lime green. Have you
thought
seen
it
my
was
lime
green.
green?
Screwed
comb?
it up.
Sorry, I always said
If
yellow.
you said yellow comb, I would probably go, "Nope, not really."
No.
Oh, no.
I'm like, hey, hello. So like, if you
But you're
say,
in a panic, and you
"Where's
must be
my
like,
lime green comb?"
I
Has
would have
anyone
totally
seen my
missed
lime
the
green
mark.
comb? You got to go to the kitchen. Like, you got to haul ass to the kitchen because we're about
That's
to have a
right.
powwow about what's
Yeah,
going on.
something's happening.
It's happened.
If
It's
you see, have you seen my lime green
Green comb.
comb? We
I'm
know
gonna
shit
know.
is getting
It's
real.
about to hit the fan.
Okay.
So
I
you
just
guys should
need-
have been like, hey, like, where's my whatever banking term that you know
Oh yeah.
is normal.
Well, yeah.
Where's those audits or whatever the hell you guys do? Don't know. Red-
Time to change out the journal tape.
That's right.
Hey, journal tape.
Listen,
Journal tape.
that is so That's so Gen X. Just so you know, journal tape.
Hey, wait, hold on. What else is Gen X?
So many things.
I know.
Drinking
A fax machine.
Yeah.
Do you know how many
Rolodex.
times-
Rolodex.
Okay. Now I'm not in banking, I'm in marketing, and we make business cards for people. And I can always tell their age when they say, "And you can go ahead and put my fax number on the card." Now, these are for
Whoa.
retired people.
Wow.
That don't even work
I'm
day
just
to
going to
day.
call 411 so I can ask the operator what your phone number is.
Isn't that just
With your first and last name.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
411. That's not a thing anymore.
411.
Pay
Yes.
phones. Come on, like there's so many things that are not
So
things
many
anymore.
things.
Hey, how you doing? So today I'm going to discuss what happened to dialing 411, for directory assistance calling. In 2021, the AT&T, the major carrier, they stopped operator service calls for wireless phones. And it was still, you could still at that point use them for landlines, home phones. And Verizon, T-Mobile, and some of the other carriers still allow you to dial 411, but there's a fee. You have to be careful. These fees can vary, pretty significantly. At the end of 2022, like starting January 1st, 2023.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I kind of miss it.
I really miss
do
it.
too.
Like I loved having like a little Rolodex with all.
If we still had that, we wouldn't have young kids wanting to sexually assault women
possibly.
just
I mean,
because.
this has always
No, that's not
happened.
true.
It's always happened,
No.
right? I just feel like
Yeah.
like we were talking about the games and stuff. I think that we have become desensitized to a lot of things, not just sexual assault. A lot of humanity, like
I think that's
related
why there's
things.
a lot of the shootings going on.
A lot of
Oh,
things.
absolutely.
We
The
don't,
school
and the way people
shootings.
okay, this is like.
Nobody's afraid of going to prison.
Do you guys remember the story where that lady was in London and she was being raped on the train and people just watched her? They took pictures and video to turn into the police, but they were watching it happen instead of stepping in. When like at our age, we would have been like,
Oh,
break it-
absolutely.
right. So all kinds of people have become desensitized.
we need more
to all
John
kinds.
Rambos on this planet.
We need some more
Yeah.
people that step in and do
John
things.
Wick.
Yeah, less beta males,
Speedy
more
Rollersons.
yeah, more
Oh.
manly men.
Manly men.
Manly men, right?
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't want a man who thinks he's a woman or
That
has
gets
to be all
pedicured.
sensitive.
I mean,
yeah.
and that's okay
Man's-
if you do, but like be a man, right? Like
be a man.
Yeah,
Open
be a
the
man.
door. Be
Yeah.
masculine.
Yeah.
Lead.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
not drag me to your cave
But
and
like-
tell me I have no voice.
but be assertive and be that
Absolutely.
person. I agree with you.
I don't know why I'm going here with this, but we were talking about the Met Gala Awards
Yes,
or
we
the
were.
Met Gala show, and the Pamela Anderson,
Right.
Her being bashed for not wearing makeup
Right.
anymore, and her being pressured into going back to makeup.
I saw that. I did not. So I was talking to you about her. I was like happy that,
That
she
was,
was.
a complete
Yeah.
squirrel moment. I know
No.
that's so over here, but
No,
let's
it's-
go there.
No, it's not because I think a lot of women are trying to adopt. I mean, she has been known as a sex symbol for most of her life,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So tell me about this.
It's Tory Burch, and it's very fitted, very exciting. I love it.
Yes.
I feel like I'm.
If that dress is comfortable, it looks like you're wearing a Play-Doh dress. And the way you're standing, you look like one of those ballerinas that you wind up in a music box when you open it up and she spins slowly. Really, Pam? Really? That's not a dress, it's a fancy straight jacket with diamonds all over it. Someone needs to tell her the mannequin challenge ended years ago. I mean, come on, that dress is tighter than my budget after Christmas shopping. And the haircut, let me tell you about those bangs. She's one squeeze away from becoming a human confetti cannon.
The best version of me right now.
You're sparkling. I love this hair.
Thank you.
Is this new? Is this
new.
is this for this event?
It's
Did you
new.
do this
I
for
thought
this?
Tailoring from head to toe.
Yes,
was a good
absolutely.
idea.
The like blunt bang. Have you ever done anything like that?
No, well, I've been kind of slowly cutting my hair over different projects that I've been doing in the last couple months, and I thought I was just going to go for it with this, and I actually really love it.
Isn't it so freeing?
It's so freeing.
You just feel
I've
light.
had a pixie cut before,
It's
but
the
this
best.
This is nice. It's freedom, and it's also just nice to be able to be who you want to be. Just do it. Like,
Absolutely.
absolute freedom.
It looks wonderful. And your
you.
glam has been so amazing. I mean, you've been known to like just no glam, just skincare.
Yeah.
And like you look so wonderful, and I just think what you've done is so important.
Oh, thank
Tell me about your glam tonight. It's so natural. It's so
It's a
beautiful.
Got a little sparkles on and good skincare, and my skin is so much better now that I haven't been wearing so much makeup. It has changed
Right? Yes.
completely.
Yes.
Not that I'm opposed to makeup because I
Yes.
love glam, but
but-
this version of myself, I'm just not doing so much.
Well, the thing is, it's so rare. I feel like we're all just accustomed to doing full glam, and what you've done is so refreshing and so inspiring. And I literally talk about it once a week
Oh my
to my
goodness.
friends and to my glam team. I'm like, wait, when can I do a no makeup look? And it's because it's so to be you is so exciting, you know, like to be
Yeah.
fully you in a way, like to just
To present yourself to the world the way you want to.
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that.
It's
right?
as simple as that. Well, you look wonderful
Thank you.
and so
Thank you very
beautiful. Amazing.
Thank
We'll
you.
go
Thank
enjoy.
you.
Thank you so much for doing this. Appreciate you.
And so I think she wanted to embrace this natural side of her. She came up with a really great cookbook. She's been a vegan for years. She supports PETA. Like she's one of these people. And so I was like, wow, good for her for doing that. Like, if she's comfortable doing that, she's beautiful. I mean, it doesn't matter. If she's got makeup
Okay,
or
well,
not.
so here's what I think. All right, I might be the asshole of the
No.
group.
I think that you should give me
She needs some mascara.
Okay.
And that's a reason why mascara was invented. I'm not saying go put on full coverage foundation.
But do you think she did it as a statement because she was kind of becoming not relevant, and so this was like a new thing to reinvent herself?
When you get up in the morning, do you look forward to putting on your makeup?
Okay, so I'll tell you this. Since, I got sick, there was a time for like probably 4 or 5 months where I just didn't want to wear makeup. But I would almost force myself to put something on my face every day because it made me feel better. To look better made me feel better. And maybe I didn't do like the amount of stuff that I did when I was working to show up to work. But every day I tried to do something. And the days that I didn't, I actually felt shittier, I think. Because I would look in the mirror and be like, wow, you look a hot mess. Like, you need to do something with your face. Like, even if it's just, like you said, mascara or bronzer or just some lip gloss, something. We're girls. That's what we do. And you don't have to go over, like, she went from one extreme to the other. Do you think, like, it was all of that, and then it was like none of that?
It was a statement. I believe that it was to get some attention, because she's washed out.
Yeah, but then, okay, so you guys sent me that
washed
picture.
up. I'm sorry, but is she washed up? In her mind, she might be, but not in
No, like
ours.
everyone, she's a household name, right? You said the word Pamela Anderson. You think Faye
Absolutely.
Well, that's
Walker.
like Farrah Fawcett.
Right,
Farrah
Farrah
Fawcett was.
You think of someone beautiful and
Right,
blonde,
right.
you say
You think
Pamela
sure,
Anderson.
Pam Anderson. But I think so. That group chat that you sent me, where she's wearing makeup again, and so our host that's not here with us today, Monica, she had a different take on it. She's like, oh, she got bullied. You know what? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the bully word.
Oh, jeez.
Can we stop, please, with the bullying?
Oh, please. Everybody's a victim.
So people said, Pamela, you need to put, like, come on, if you want to do it, say that it's because you want to do it, not because you felt pressured to put makeup. You're a grown-ass woman.
You know how beautiful you can be.
Yeah.
You know how bad you can look.
Right.
We all know it. We all know that if we want to, we can look like a hag.
So don't
and we
say,
all know that if we wanted to put some effort into it, we can look really good.
Yeah, so don't say that you were pressured and bullied into doing that. That's crap.
It all boils down to it. I don't feel like putting makeup on. As stylists, we have to feel that we should, without that we feel pressure.
We're representing
to
a beauty industry, so it's our job.
Right, but boy, I get bored as hell with it.
Sure.
I have to bring up the whole bully thing.
Let's do it.
Bully has been happening for generations. I'm not condoning it. I'm not supporting it.
Amen to that.
But that's the answer that is everybody's answer now.
They're being
the
bullied.
reason that they shot up 13 innocent kindergartners was because they were being bullied.
And I think that word has become like, it's so many words in our language now that to me have become diluted, right?
Yes.
Racism.
Yes.
All of these things, because we've changed what they actually mean. Being bullied is being harassed every day and hit and spit on and put down into a way that it's physically painful. Not to be told, I don't like your glasses.
I went to school with a guy that literally was bullied. He had the black cornered glasses. He wore the pencil protector. He rode a bicycle. He was probably not all there.
He's probably,
sweetheart of a guy. They would put kick me on his back. I'd walk by, grab the kick me, and pat him on the back and say, hey, hope you're having a great day. He didn't shoot up no school.
Right.
I don't know where he is today. I hope he
he's
graduated
okay.
to a car and not a bike.
Yeah.
One time I said hi to him on the highway, and he was on the sidewalk, and he got so excited he didn't see the pole.
Charlene!
I went back. He broke his glasses. I felt so bad. I brought him to the store.
Yeah. Way to go,
Anyway,
Charlene.
I don't know what happened.
What'd you do? What did you do?
I hugged him.
Did you give him his first boner?
I was going to say, like,
No!
I bet you did.
I bet you did.
We both know you did.
We've heard about your speed dating.
We know.
We know.
Oh, we know.
Oh, we know it.
Girl, we know.
We already know.
You can't fool us. We know.
We know the past, present, future.
We know it. We know it more than you know it.
We knew what you were doing before you woke up this morning. We knew it.
We knew before God knew what you did.
Yeah, we're that good.
Refer to the last episode, Speed Dating in the Slums with Charlene Williams.
Not to
Episode
be confused
14
with Speedy Rollerson.
There you go.
I mean, two different
Speedy.
Speedies going
You know,
on. There's
Speedy is only a little older than you.
Oh, I sense a matchmaking going on.
Matchmaker. Make me a match. But I want to tell you,
Tell me.
I like Speedy. Speedy Rollerson is the person that landed this podcast on HBO, which will be aired in October or November. I'll let my listeners know, our listeners know.
Yeah.
But it's going to be on the hit show. It's Florida Man on HBO.
So
But-
proud of you, Jess.
Yeah, this is really something.
Gracia,
Yeah.
gracia,
Yeah.
gracia.
I think you
That's
should put a
2
period
years of
at
work.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
But thanks. But this is about you.
No, I think you need to put a period at the end of that sentence.
Not a semicolon.
Yeah, that is the end of the sentence.
Done.
Congrats, Jess.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I am proud of it.
You
But
should
back
be.
to you.
No,
So
no.
he's actually.
That's awesome.
Would you date a guy who's reformed himself?
Former
Well,
bank robber as a banker?
maybe this will sweeten the pot. He served time with Ted Bundy.
Oh,
Nice.
Jeez.
Does he does he have stories?
Can we talk about the women that go after the men on death row?
Well, yeah,
That's a whole
Yes,
nother podcast.
But I just want to tell you one more thing.
Yeah,
Remember
go ahead.
Jessica Lunsford, the horrible
Yes,
child
yes,
abduction?
yes,
John
yes.
Cooey
Yes.
was the abductor and the disgusting pig who's dead now and he deserves to be.
Yes.
Anyway, he was in prison when John Cooey was coming into prison.
Oh, wow.
And he remembers when John Cooey was there and the guards were bringing him down.
You know, so many of those guys wanted to just murder him.
Oh, yeah.
So Speedy in the episode, it's not the compassionate criminal, it's the other one, which
Okay.
I will be airing soon on this podcast. I haven't released it yet. But he talks how all the inmates peed in cups. And as Cooey was being guided down the aisle, all the prison cells that he passed, Speedy and all the guys threw piss in his face.
Get out of here.
I got to ask y'all a question.
Yes.
Mark Lunsford, Jesse's Law, Jessica Lunsford. Wasn't that John Cooey?
Yes.
Crazy note. You know what? When I went in, I was from here to you from John Cooey. Matter of fact, I got to throw a cup of piss on him.
Thank you. That is going. I love you. You know what? Here we go.
That's crazy.
Yes. Fucking love that.
If I could have got my hands on him, he was in a little cell by himself, and we was all going by, and he was jumping at the cell like, like he was a fucking, like he was a werewolf, like he was a fucking a beast. Oh man, it's one thing I can honestly say for DOC guards. They let us boys take our cups of piss, and literally a fucking row of 100 of us walked by him and threw a cup of piss
Fucking
in
love
his
it.
cell.
Yes. Love it.
Oh, they let us do it.
There is a code.
Okay, I was
It's
gonna say,
almost
a
like
code
the mafia
or
code.
like a culture.
You know what I
There's
mean?
like a
Yeah.
prison culture, and people become like animalistic.
Yes.
They really do.
And Jessica Lunsford, one
You
of
know,
the
I used
most,
to cut her hair. I cut her hair when I worked at Regis.
She's one of the most famous child abduction cases in this in the
Because it was
world.
so horrifying. It was so
was.
horrifying.
And you can look into it, but
But it goes
Mark
back to a
Lunsford-
neighborhood.
It does.
Mark Lunsford, her father, went on to take that situation and move forward to get the state legislatures to pass the Jessica Lunsford Act,
Yes.
which brings harsher punishments to disgusting people who
Commit
do
crimes
these
against children.
horrific, heinous acts on children.
Yeah, you guys interviewed him. Yeah,
Yes, we did. He's on our show, and
on
it's
Joint
not
Laughter.
on. Yes, it's the former podcast called Joint Laughter, and
That was a great episode. That was a really
Joint
great
Laughter is no
episode.
longer, but I have rights to the episode, and I will be bringing those things back.
That was a great episode.
Yes. So he got the Jessica Lunsford Act passed, which helped further future children who've been
Victims,
abducted
right, and their
victims.
families.
And not just children, but others to have harsher punishments and
Yeah.
even the death penalty.
Wow. But yeah, so we need to come back and maybe and talk about some, prison culture, because obviously you've got your little bit of experience by interviewing Speedy. My dad was a maximum security prison guard in an all women's prison, and he's got some stories that would
Those must
just
be the roughest.
he said
They
it was.
say.
Women.
Listen,
Yeah.
like they threw tampons at the
Poop.
guards. They would try to get them to seduce them and then say that they raped them. There was so many crazy stories, and my dad actually bonded with one inmate that was a really sweet girl. A crazy story. She went out to dinner with her fiance. They were young, 19. And he had just came back from boot camp from Marines, and they went out with his family, so his mother, father, and her, and she had one glass of wine with dinner, but she was not 21. On the way home, it was raining really hard. She hit a homeless man that was crossing the street illegally, and she went to jail for 25 years. My dad was there when she was there.
Oh,
they made a huge example out of her, and so my dad, his heart broke for her. It was so sad, and my dad ended up
so
quitting
sad.
because they said it was such a hard job anyway. But some people are there and don't deserve to be. Is my
Right.
long story short, I guess.
There are,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen a lot,
No.
but there are
Yeah.
innocent people in prison
Yeah.
And there are good people who get out of prison and they reform their lives and they deserve second chances. And if everybody judges these people, they'll never have another shot as a reformed life.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Right.
So everyone needs to keep that in mind. But let's steer off to something else. We want to talk some health tips, some situations amongst us to where we want to inform people of some things. And Ashlee, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay.
On the root canal.
Oh, yes. Okay. So I was diagnosed with cancer last year. Okay. Very, very traumatic even being diagnosed because I was never sick in my life. Like I've never been a sick person. So to find that out, having stage 4, cancer is a shock to anyone, of course. But for me, I take to like knowledge is power. So I just started reading a lot of things and trying to get really involved in, what does this mean? So, of course, I have an oncologist, but I also see natural doctors, many natural doctors. And a good friend of yours, Martha, she said, I take my granddaughter to Costa Rica to get some things done because they can do more there, which is true. Our American healthcare system is, if you've ever been in it, I know Charlene has, you have a different view of it than if you're not in it. There's a lot of things that they cannot do here, but they can do in Costa Rica, like plant stem cells, all this stuff. So she said, call this guy up. And I did. And we were talking back and forth. And the first thing he asked me was, do you have a root canal? Kind of blew me away because I hadn't even thought about it. I have had pretty good teeth my whole life. My first cavity was like at 27. And then at the movies one night, I bit down on a popcorn kernel.
Remember that night.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Cracked my very back upper jaw, right? Tooth, a tiny little tooth. This is why I say, I made a Facebook post about it. When I went to the dentist, she was a client of mine. I trust her. I still trust her. She's retired. But I said, please just pull the tooth. Just pull the tooth. And she said, no, you don't want to do that. And I thought, why? It's a tiny little tooth. What's the big deal? She said, well, you have such nice teeth and you had braces and they can get misaligned, blah, 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 right? My gut was telling me, just pull the tooth. Just pull the tooth. Like in my mind, I could hear the words, just pull the tooth. But I let her sway me into getting, first of all, it was supposed to be a crown, not a root canal. Okay? So she's shaving the tooth and she sees like it's very small. Yeah, it's a little tiny tooth in the back. She says, I can't crown it. There's nothing for it to stick to. There's no post. Like it won't be able to stay. You need to have a root canal. Okay. Like I usually don't shirk at things. I'm like, all right, do it. Go to Spring Hill, get the root canal, no big deal. But the post and the crown never fit right. It just never, like the bite was never right. Just didn't fit right. And I lost it several times. The last time I lost it, they looked at the gold crown and there was actually a hole in it. So this whole time I've been getting like bacteria, whatever in that thing. 95% of root canals are infected. Up to 100% of root canals are infected, but you don't know because you can't feel it. They clean out the nerve. They do all that work. It's a dead tooth. It's basically a taxidermy of a tooth. There's no other body part that we do that to. If your kidney's bad, do they keep it?
No.
No, you get a new one. They don't keep something in your mouth that's dead, and your mouth harbors bacteria. So, long story short, I watched this documentary called Root Cause. You can find it on YouTube. It was on Netflix. The American Academy of Endodontists had it taken off of Netflix. Yeah.
Oh,
lots of doctors and dentists talk
So
about
it's not on there anymore?
No, but you can find it on YouTube. So please look up Root Cause on YouTube. It's a young man that talks about his...
plug that into the show.
Please. Talks about his decade-long journey with trying to figure out what's wrong with him. He got punched in the face on spring break, and those 2 front teeth had to be root canaled, and that was the cause of a lot of physical problems for him. And once
when
he had
did they
them,
start understanding that and coming up with that?
So when you watch the documentary, a lot of dentists talk about it, that they don't learn it in school, that they have to actually take like different kinds of training to figure this out. But there's been several blind studies where they take root canal teeth to different hospitals, medical places all around the country and do pathology on them, and they are all infected, all of them. So you may not get cancer from this, okay? But like 98% of women that have breast cancer, the root canal's on the same side. Wow. So that's a big
So didn't
thing.
you say that when you went to, which was the doctor that asked you about your root canal and if it's the same side your breast cancer
so that happened in
was on?
Costa Rica. And then when I went back to another natural doctor in Clearwater, that was the first thing that they asked me.
Did you go to Costa Rica?
No, I never went to Costa Rica because I don't have a passport. And I just didn't want to leave the kid. It was just a time that I
we're
was
going to change that. So we're going to try to change that.
So I'm having my root canal reversed. Okay, long story short, I'm having my root canal reversed in a couple weeks. They take everything out. And they're going to do some other stuff to me too, because there's a lot of proof that even like wisdom teeth, they call them cavitations. There can be bacteria abscesses in your old wisdom teeth. It's really actually, if you just watch the documentary, they explain it wonderfully, and it makes total sense once you watch it.
the mouth is such a breeding point of bacteria.
Well, look what it can do to your heart. If you've got heart problems, you have to
Right.
go to be on antibiotics before you can have work done. It's a big, big thing, and it's known in the world, but they don't want to admit it because, I mean, come on, they would lose money. 25 million people a year get root canals. 25 million people.
That is very interesting.
So it's
about
about,
that.
I mean, a lot of healthcare is about money, which, you know, I can understand some of it, but when you're talking about something like this, it has to do with people's health. They take a Hippocratic oath to do no harm as a doctor, and they are doing harm to people. They really are. So.
And really, dentists don't know that. They're just doing what they're taught to do.
Yeah, and a lot of it you find out, like even my oncologist, and these people go to school for years. You're talking like 10 years. They take 1 week of nutrition in college. They don't know anything about nutrition. So if I bring it up, they'll just say, eat whatever you want. No.
I don't understand the job nutrition. I don't want to bash it too much, but what exactly do nutritionists do?
So like, okay, so like if you've got type 1 diabetes, there would obviously be a certain protocol that you would use. If you've got cancer, you find out pretty relatively quickly that cancer feeds on sugar. And I imagine it like a little fat kid, a little chubby kid. My cancer is like a little chubby kid. And I eat something.
Are we allowed to say fat?
I'm going to say chubby.
Bully.
I'll say chubby. I'm sorry.
That's better.
Chubby. I like
Bully.
the word chubby. I'm sorry.
Chubby's cute.
I mean, chubby, right?
Yeah.
So husky, okay?
Husky.
I prefer husky.
Okay.
Big bone.
Husky kid. I eat sweets, and that cancer just gobbles it up at like 10 times the speed that our normal cells do. They thrive on cancer. When you have a PET scan, you have to go on a ketogenic diet before your PET scan, so super low carbs. Then you fast before your, like 24 hours before your PET scan, you fast. They give you glucose. That's what the tracer is. They give you glucose because when it goes into the body, they put a radioactive tracer in the glucose. It lights your body up like a Christmas tree wherever your cancer is. So that's telling you that it likes sugar. So the first thing you should do is eliminate sugar, but my oncologist would never tell me that. They will not tell you that. Anything that's natural, they don't even want to know what I'm doing that's natural. Because if I tell them, first of all, they could dismiss me as a patient. They literally could dismiss me as a patient. And if
Isn't
I'm
that
like,
so sad.
yes, and like if I'm a narc, like if I'm a person in the pharmaceutical company trying to figure out if my oncologist is being on the up and up, they can lose their license. There is a standard of care. That's it. They don't treat you like a person. They treat you like you have this, so take this. That's it.
Tell me about ivermectin. Am I saying that right? Ivermectin?
Yeah,
Tell
so
me
like
about that.
every day someone will text me or send me a message on Facebook like, hey, have you tried ivermectin? I've taken ivermectin since the beginning of my cancer journey, and that's because to me there's a lot of evidence that cancer can be parasitic or fungal. And ivermectin has shown great results in a lot of people. So I even read something. I don't know if you guys suffer from this, but a lot of people do. When I'm outside and I get tan fairly easily, but my legs get like white spots on them. Okay. My sister-in-law that's in the field of pathology said, that's a fungus. I said, really? She's like, yeah, though. And I looked it up. It is a fungus.
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
Well, guess what I did? I got ivermectin paste and put it on my legs and it's gone.
Wow. And Charlene, weren't you saying about the parasites?
Earlier today I was with my daughter, Alexis, and she's just started a natural skincare line.
Okay.
She's always been interested in skin and dermatology.
What's the name of the skincare line?
It's called Shine On Skincare.
Shine On.
So she developed her own, she calls it glow oil, and she's using organic frankincense, organic castor oil,
Oh, yeah.
different things. And so she's got a whole couple of products that she's selling currently. And the reason she started selling it was because, as she said so eloquently to me, my mom didn't teach me skincare, and therefore I never taught my daughter
Right, and they
skincare
passed
because,
down to-
I
right.
didn't
Didn't
know
know.
it, right? So she interned at Suncoast Dermatology when she was
cool.
like 17-ish.
Florida, Citrus County, Florida. Listeners.
And absolutely loved it. But for whatever reason, her past, she did not continue that journey. But she's the girl that watches Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Listen,
really gets into
you
all
watch
that.
video we watched.
Yeah.
I made Ashlee sit through a disgusting ingrown hair video.
Brazilian.
A Hugh Vine. Oh my God.
She probably would enjoy that. I'll
Yeah.
have to let her know.
I kind of did too.
I made David watch it.
What do you think?
He was like, oh my God, I can't believe you made me
Yeah,
watch that.
it's a
But
little gagging.
It's almost like, you don't like a train wreck. You don't want to look
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's borderline gross.
So anyway, so in her journey, she's been doing a lot of studying, and as far as knowledge is power,
sure.
and it's definitely not from school books. She's doing it on the internet as
Good for
well,
her.
YouTube and such. So she's getting ready to go to school to be an esthetician.
Okay.
And today, a family friend, came forward to the pop-up shop we were at that Alexis was at, and was talking about so-and-so has a brain tumor.
Wow.
And It's the second or third person I've heard recently.
Yeah. How weird is this?
And Alexis, my daughter, said something about, well, I've heard, ivermectin and apricot seeds.
I do those. Bitter apricot seed kernels. I do them.
So she started talking about her regimen of what she's doing now before she's ever been diagnosed with anything.
Really?
And ironically, when you pick up about the dextrose, so when I was on dialysis, I did the peritoneal type, not the kind that everybody knows that you do the blood, right? Well, they use sugar water.
Yes.
And isn't that interesting? Because how...
that's so crazy, Charlene. I just watched this little thing, and I have to kind of educate myself a little more about it. But they were talking about, like, when you're dehydrated, you go to the hospital, they give you saline. Saline has salt in it, right? It has salt. When they give you Lasix so that you can go to the bathroom, that has salt in it. But they keep telling people to do, like, no salt, no salt, no salt, no salt. How weird is that? Because natural salt is actually proven to be good for you. There's a book called The Salt Fix. You should read it. It's very interesting. It talks about how salt is actually very good for you, especially pink salt, red salt, the Celtic salt, the Himalayan salt. It replaces all these trace minerals. You're supposed to put it in your water when you're outside working because you need to replace that through sweat,
Right.
You lose all those essential trace minerals. But they never talk bad about sugar because in the 80s, sugar sponsored the Olympics, aerobics, Crystal Light. Right. Pepsi sponsored the Olympics. They didn't want to talk bad about sugar because it was bad for business.
Right.
So, as to like this, like you're saying, the brain tumor and whatnot, it's absolutely crazy. But you can start treating things. You can treat things naturally, but your doctor won't want to know about it.
No,
not at all.
Oh, not at all. Any of the doctors that I've gone to for the kidneys, sometimes I felt like they would look at my results and he would scratch his head. Like
what is happening?
And so finally I said to him, I go, you got bad news, good news? You look at me puzzled.
Right.
And he goes, well, because this tells me you should not be acting
the
like
way you
act.
Really? So you'd be worse. So
right.
Okay.
Attitude. It goes back to
positive mindset.
I would wake up every day like today's a great day, and today's the day that a miracle could happen.
Absolutely.
And ironically, there was another lady in the community, and I won't say her name because of her family. We had the same disease at the same time, going to the same doctor, doing the same dialysis. Wow. She passed away.
Different outcomes.
Because her mind was, to your point, I don't feel good today. That's all right. I'm going to do my hair anyway and put some mascara on.
Fake it till you make it, girl.
Exactly.
Fake it till you make it.
And she passed away very early on.
Yeah.
And they would ask me to go speak to her, but it was always, she already had in her mind, I'm not going to make it.
Sure. Well, then you're not going to make it.
Right.
You won't.
So there's, I think, a good balance between you've got to know what your role is.
Absolutely.
Knowledge is power.
Right.
Do your own research because your doctor honestly only knows this much, which is not a lot.
No.
They may know a lot, but not about you or your particular case.
Right. Absolutely.
That's great. And so, what advice would you give? You are diagnosed as we speak. You're right now with stage 4 breast cancer.
Right. I have metastasis to the bone, to my spine, to my sternum. It circulates in my blood. So it could be, wherever. My advice for me, I'm a faithful person. I believe in God. So even though I trust my doctors and I usually do what they say, they are not the ultimate physician in my life. God is the ultimate physician in my life. He's held me in the palm of his hand since I was born. So that's that. Whether or not I'm healed of cancer or not, it doesn't really matter. God knows my story and I trust him.
And amen.
Amen.
So that's number one. Number two, I've read a lot of books about this. Your mindset is so important to be positive because it sets the tone for your day. No matter if you've got cancer or not, you need to speak nicely to yourself and try to be positive about what's going on. And then just do all the research that you can. It's weird because a lot of the things that I've found out were things that people have done for years, and then all of a sudden they were quacks and weirdos. Like the apricot kernels, the vitamin that's in them is B17. B17 is cyanide. It is cyanide. Yeah. And so a friend of mine started telling me a long time ago to eat the seeds of apples. Not a lot, but like the seed that's in the apple, that's what it is too. It's cyanide. And it can protect your body from a lot of physical harm.
So that's good.
It's good, but you can't do it too much. Like, you have to be really careful. Like, I eat like 3 apricot kernels a day, and they suck. They're horrible. They're not like...
And you can't like put in your loved one's extra,
Yeah, be careful with that,
Yeah, because then you could get arrested.
Yeah.
It's kind of like using music that's not copyrighted.
I've heard that I've heard that oleander works better to slowly poison someone.
Yes, that's what they used in the old days to put it in
oleander
the
tea.
Kill him.
Oh, to kill their husband.
Or digitalis gives people heart attacks.
Oleander, untraceable almost.
But yeah,
And there's
really.
that Diddy thing with some baby oil.
Holy crap, the baby oil. Whoa.
First of all, aren't we glad that the fires happened after the baby oil was like
they would have been
away?
like Michael Jackson in the Pepsi commercial.
Yeah.
It would have been
Why so much
20
baby?
times more.
Why so much baby oil?
What's the name of that fish that they were trying to protect?
Oh, that stupid fish. I don't even remember the name of that. That's how dumb it is.
Well, it's flourishing. But, yeah. The P. Diddy trial.
Wow. Have you guys watched?
First of all, not to take it off of what you're talking
No,
about.
no.
Because I love you,
I love you
Ashlee.
too. Love you too.
Charlotte, you both are the strongest women that I know.
Well, I think it's important, and I think it was an actual lesson to me, is that you should really never judge anybody by looking at them, because people tell me all the time I don't look sick, which is a great compliment. I think that's wonderful, but it doesn't mean I'm not sick.
Exactly.
Because I haven't lost my hair, because I've got to keep my breasts. Doesn't mean I'm not sick. So when I go places, I try not to do that to other people too, because people can be very sick and not look sick. So it's important to treat everybody, kindly, I guess. And I was a big basher of that. Listen, I was a bit like, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. And I always laughed at that.
I remember
that.
that.
Yeah.
I remember.
I still kind of believe in it, because sometimes people are just stupid. But... But
I agree.
Amen again.
Amen.
But not to judge them, right? I'm not going to judge them, but
Right.
I don't always have to be nice to you. That's like the thing that I wanted to talk about.
It's like Jennifer Lopez and the P. Diddy scandal. She's
Yes.
all about the kindness act, but she knew about what was going on. Where's the kindness
threw other
then?
women under the bus,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Like, I feel like, you don't always have to be kind. And like, as a Christian, I think that's what happens to us. We get this Christianese, where we feel like we have to be nice to everybody because we're Christian and that's what Jesus would do. That's not true. We don't have to be nice to everyone. We can stand up for our religion, stand up for our faith, in guidance if someone's doing something wrong.
And you're also allowed to question God. He wants you to.
You're allowed to have doubts.
Yep,
You're allowed to have doubts. You're not allowed, you can say, I don't have it all figured out, right? But if you believe in your heart,
As
convince
long
with
as
your
you're
mouth.
coming to him with it, that's what
That's
he
right.
wants you to do. But that's a whole different
whole
episode.
different story.
That's a whole heavy one. The one we should bring Mr. Mel Gibson in on.
Can we get Mel Gibson?
I'm sure we can.
I'm sure.
I mean, we're cutting this Chronicles. I mean,
Hello. I mean, he
I'm
went
on HBO.
I mean, he went on Joe Rogan, so yeah. I mean, of course we could get.
Hey, it's Florida Man.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Speedy Rollerson.
I would die if you had Mel Gibson on. I would just have a heart attack.
Mel,
where you
Hey, Mel,
at?
if you're
Mel,
listening,
give us a call.
I'm not
We love
sure if Mel's good enough for us.
Oh man, I love
Just
Mel.
kidding. I love Mel.
Yeah.
Even though he's always lives in hot water, but
I don't care. That's what I love about him.
Name another celebrity who lives in hot water, but we still like anyway.
Man, have you guys heard of anything about Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah. He's supposed to be weirdo. A weirdo.
Like, it's crazy.
He was like
but
mama's boy.
But I like him. Like, when he speaks, I actually really like him. Like Jim Carrey, he got blackballed in Hollywood because he came out with being not necessarily Christian, but having a faith and having a religion. And as soon as that happened, they were like 180'd on him, and he didn't care.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
anybody who wants to poo-poo on you for loving the Lord.
I know. Well,
see you later.
It's not popular in Hollywood.
Amen to that.
So
It's not. Well, they're a bunch of Satanists.
I mean,
but
come on.
here we are.
To P. Diddy. Hello, the baby oil.
Yeah.
Freak offs? Is that freak offs?
Freaking
The other day I was at work and I part of kidney disease, you get really dry skin. And I just have
how
not
fun.
found anything.
How about dry vagina?
It's probably a problem.
Okay.
probably
Is that okay? So you haven't experienced that? Do you have that? Ashley, how was yours?
Listen, I know I know what side of the fence you're on with this. You're over there whopping, okay?
You're gonna need a mop and bucket.
I take estrogen blockers, okay? But actually I haven't had a problem with that. I get really bad hot flashes, but I'm okay otherwise, so I can't complain about
I am so sorry that we took your situation that's very
And made
serious
fun of you.
and brought it to Cardi B.
She said
I'm
we.
so sorry.
She said we. I
didn't take it to Cardi B. Ashley did.
Huh? Well, here we are. It's
Back
okay.
As you were saying.
As I
Dry
was saying,
skin.
it
She
was-
said dry
dry
skin.
So I was at work and I work with two younger girls. And so I'm glistening and I realized and I look and I went, okay, so I'm not into the freak offs, ladies.
It's not baby oil.
This is baby oil.
Was it?
But I'm just trying to find something that's going to help my dry
So
skin.
nothing works? Nothing at all
No.
works? Really?
No.
What,
No.
did Alexis give you some advice?
Dermatologist tells me, use this one. So I'm using her glow oil for my face.
Yeah.
But it comes in a
little tiny bottle.
Yeah. So I was trying to do something on my arms.
Do you guys know like the benefits of castor oil? How great it is?
Oh, it's amazing.
Eyelashes.
I've been hearing a lot.
I mean, listen, like people with my niece used to have really bad bladder, kidney problems. She had it makes your eyelashes thicker. You can put it on eyelashes, but it does a lot of actual really good things to different ailments. You can, like me and Charlene were just talking about it. You can put it a lot of oil like on your belly, like if you're having any kind of abdomen problems, okay, or bladder or pain.
Doesn't it bring on labor?
It can if you take it, if you ingest it by a spoon, right? Mm-hmm. But if you put it on your stomach, let's just say, and you make this pack with it, you wrap yourself in saran wrap, put a hot water bottle on it, the pain goes away.
Yeah,
there's
it's
a
pretty
lot
amazing.
of it. Really
I know
is.
someone who did it, and it actually
it does. It actually works.
Yeah, girls, both of you going through horrible health situations. How has it affected your hair?
Oh, you go first.
Well, so I was always known for my hair because I went to this dynamic hairdresser named Jess. That one time I was at a
Jess
private...
Robbins?
No.
Jess, wow.
Wait, Ashlee Kite?
Pick a last name.
Ashlee Kite?
One.
Oh, Cuttin Salon.
Cuttin Salon in Denellen, Florida. It's got a pineapple out front.
Not upside down.
Don't go there. I knew it.
Anyway, so I digress. I was at a private concert with Wynonna Judd. Know her?
Wait, stop.
Heard of her.
Yep.
Before you start this story.
What?
This is my favorite Charlene story of all time. I need you
to get into it.
And go.
Okay, so back in the day when I was a banker, I was invited to go to a school at Disney, actually. It was a leadership school on marketing and customer service. And the last night, there was a surprise concert, private. Probably there was 300 of us. And Wynonna Judd was our singer.
She was the person.
She was the person.
How cool is
now,
that?
I was as close to her as I am to Ashlee and Jess right now. So, like, 2 arm lengths away.
Yeah, a couple feet.
And she's
Take your
singing.
thumb out of my crack.
Get that bunion off of me.
Sick.
She likes it.
She's singing away, and then she stops because it's a very intimate concert.
Right.
Looks at me and says, "I love your hair." Yeah.
What?
At the time, I had
Holy
Charlene's hair
shit.
in a Wynonna red.
Yep.
And
with the blonde. Mm-hmm.
Yep. She stopped her concert.
Wow.
She pointed at
She did. And it was one of my happiest moments, right?
And mine too.
Yeah.
And one of Jess's that we
No
still
doubt.
go back to. And then
Then
I started losing my hair. And then the medications were making my red turn pink. And I now look like pink.
Nice.
Except I didn't want to cut my hair, and I can't do a trapeze yet.
You don't have a nose piercing, so.
No.
Yeah.
So that was hard for me because as we talk through positivity and all of the things, I could fight through, I don't feel good, I ache or whatever it is, or my skin's itchy today, whatever those ailments were. But when I started seeing my hair just coming out.
What is it about that? You know, I was just talking about that with someone because I haven't lost my hair. I haven't had to go through chemo. I do a different treatment, but I've lost like 30% of my hair probably. Like it comes out all the time. And people that don't have what you have or what I have, like my mother, I've talked to her about it. And she's a very no-nonsense person, okay? She said, I wouldn't care if I was bald if I had cancer. Okay, you can say that because it's not happening to you.
Right.
I think a lot of times what people think is like, oh, the hair is like the most frivolous part. But when you're looking at the mirror, a lot of us identify by our hair. Like I always had nice hair too. Like I had spiral curly hair, like nice hair. And I think it's like that physical manifestation of something that's happening to your body that you can't control.
Yep.
You know, that you can't do anything about, right? You can put lotion on
Right.
your skin. You can do certain things. But to see that your hair is not like that crown jewel that you used to have is really kind of heartbreaking for people.
Yeah.
So I could see that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Jessica, I know that like for you, even though you don't suffer from like any kind of ailment that we can see, maybe in the brain, but you have hair issues yourself. We're all
You go,
dying.
girl.
We are all
Yes.
dying. Every day you're closer to meeting.
Live like
right?
you are dying,
Right.
because that is
You
the
really
truth.
are. Like,
Yeah.
I might have cancer, but you might get hit by a bus.
Absolutely.
Who the hell knows what's going to
You
happen
don't know
to you?
when
You
your
do
number.
not know. So I
That's
almost
right.
feel like cancer for me has been It sounds silly to say a blessing, but actually in a lot of ways it's been a blessing because I put those things that are important to me now to the forefront when I never did before.
You're going to say exactly what Charlene said on our last episode. Go ahead and say it. Not working, being able to be there for events.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like it forced me to stop working, which I never would have done on my own. Even though I kept saying for years, like I need to slow down. I'd like to slow down. But then I would work more. I just kept working more and felt like I had something to prove. And this made me stop. I had to reanalyze, regroup, think about what is important to me. My family is important to me. My husband's important to me. My children are important to me. My friends are important to me. And I'm going to start taking more time to do those things that I never did before that actually make me happy. And I actually started doing that.
Ladies, I want to thank you for today.
Thanks, Jess.
I want to, we could just keep talking. We have so much to say, but I want to recap this. I want everyone follow Ashlee Robbins on Facebook. She puts on really great videos.
I'm actually going to have, I'm going to try to put a video on Monday because it's my year anniversary being diagnosed with cancer.
And I knew that.
I'm going to give like an update and just let kind of people know what's going on. So if you want to listen.
I want to listen. I think a lot of people want to listen. She's very she's full of knowledge.
Full of it.
She's very knowledgeful. No, that's not a joke. She is. I'm bad with my vocabulary.
No.
Also, look up Root Cause on YouTube to check into the root canal.
And yes.
And then look at Shine On Skincare.
Yes.
Is there a link to that for your daughter, Alexis?
She has a Facebook page.
Okay.
And let's see if I can find, I don't know how to do all that fancy stuff, but
well,
it is Shine On.
Shine On Skincare.
All one word, skincare.
All one word, skincare. Alexis?
Anger. Imagine
I'm not
that.
used to that.
I know.
Alexis Anger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's a sweetheart on top of it.
Yes.
I love it.
And she's a
not
badass,
Yeah,
too. So I'm really proud of her for that.
I'm proud of her, too. That's great.
Everyone, stay posted. And follow Cut Loose Chronicles podcast. This is not the end of the show, though, on all listening platforms, all
right.
social media. Look for us.
Spotify.
That's how
I'm on
I
TikTok.
listen.
You listen on Spotify?
Absolutely.
Amazon Music?
Instagram.
What other one do you have, Charlene?
Y, formerly known as Twatter. And not X, formerly known as Twitter. But Y, visit the Y, we call Twatter. And stay tuned because we are going to go into everyone's favorite
What?
game show, Jeopardy! Welcome back, everyone, to everyone's favorite game show, Jeopardy, on Cut and Loose Chronicles podcast. Woo! Ladies, over here, we got our champion, Ashlee Robbins.
All right, yeah.
Yes. And then we've got her opponent, Charlene Williams. And everyone out there, I want you to wish them all luck, and here we go. The categories are... Finish the song lyric. Going down. Things you shouldn't put in your mouth. And gum. Start off with our champion, Ashlee. Pick your category.
I'm going to do going down for 200.
This long, hard metal pole might seem tempting to the tongue, but on a lonely
Beep,
day...
beep, beep, beep. Is it a stripper pole? What is?
No. I'm sorry.
I got excited.
Charlene, would you like me to finish the question?
Yes.
This long, hard metal pole might seem tempting to the tongue, but on a lonely day, trust us, it'll be stuck there for hours.
Would that be a light pole?
No.
Oh, it's
I'm
the flagpole
sorry.
from Christmas Story.
Yes.
Too late. You're both negative 200. I'm so sorry.
Why couldn't it be a stripper pole? It was going down.
Well,
going
first of all,
down.
I thought it was a light pole.
First of all,
I thought it was a fire pole.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's a pole.
It's a pole.
Well, thought doesn't win game show Jeopardy.
I'm giving myself 200
It goes
points.
back to Ashlee the champion.
I like my answer. Okay. I would like things you shouldn't put in your mouth for 200.
This object carries a metal-like odor, and if swallowed, could get stuck in your colon.
Mama said.
This object carries a metal-like odor.
And if swallowed, could get stuck in your colon.
Is it gum?
No, I'm sorry. That's another negative 200, so you're negative 4. Charlene, would you like to answer in?
What is the kitchen timer?
Oh my God.
A filling.
No, it is a quarter.
A quarter.
You're both at negative 400.
Man.
It's anyone's game. Anyone's game.
Wow. All right.
Go, Ashlee.
How about we finish the song lyric for 200?
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Maybe this will redeem me.
Okay. Finish a song lyric, but you have to do the next 3 lines. Okay?
Okay.
Tag team.
Back again. Check it to wreck it. Let's begin. Party people in the house. Hoot, hoot, and something. I was doing it really good. I don't know the rest. Was it whoop? There it is. Whoop. There it is.
Yes.
Okay, do I
Very
win?
good.
Okay.
Close enough, and you need to get out of the hole? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So you're now negative 200.
Let's keep with that theme and go with finish the song lyric for 500.
Excellent choice. Thanks. I'm getting funky on the mic like a...
Come on, Charlene, you know this.
It's you, though.
Oh, I have to do it? Like a vandal. I'm thinking of ice. No, I'm thinking of Vanilla Ice.
I'm getting funky on the mic like an old...
This is Snoop Dogg.
It's Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. Okay, with Snoop Dogg, right?
Yes.
It's the Chronic CD.
Very good.
Okay. But I'm so white, I can't remember.
Charlene, would you like to ring in?
I would have to phone a friend. That would be one of my children who was listening.
Let Jessica do
hip-hop.
it. Jessica.
How about, but someone who I know would know the song?
Yeah.
Jessica.
Oh, I'm getting funky on the mic like an old batch of collard greens.
Nice.
Nice.
This is about a
I
rubber
hope you're
in that
embarrassed.
song. I'm not. I'm not embarrassed.
Okay, back to Ashlee.
I'm
We've
a
got
big
finish
loser.
the song lyric for 1,000. We got going down for 500 and 1,000. We got gum.
Gum. All
For
right, let's do
200
that.
and 500.
Let's do gum for 200.
I might have a chance.
All right, let's do this.
What year was gum scanned on a barcode for the first time? Is it 1972? Is it 1974? Or is it 1976?
I'm going to go with your birthday, 1974.
You got it. You're now out of the hole. Congratulations. You're at zero. 1974. Damn.
No wonder you're the
All right.
reigning
That was a good
champion.
year.
I'm sorry, Charlene.
I'm still a big loser.
Okay. Hold that thought, ladies. I'm getting ready to turn the mic to my co-host, Francis Barrel, to tell everyone about our sponsor.
Time for a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere because things are about to get bootylicious. We'll be right back after this important message from Booty Boom. Are you or someone you love suffering from flatbackatosis? Does your derriere resemble a flapjack instead of a peach? Do you wish your pants were a challenge to put on? Well, friends, your struggle is over. Introducing the Booty Boom! Thanks to cutting-edge advancements in denim and elasticity, twerkonomics, and Instagram filters, the humble booty went from background actor to headliner. Sorry, folks, we've gotten ahead of ourselves. Let's go back to where America's obsession with gigantic backsides all began. The 1980s, when butts were flatter than the earth according to conspiracy theorists. Workout videos screamed, "Reduce that rear," while celebrities turned sideways and practically vanished like magic tricks. People with naturally large booties lived in shame. Little did they know, they were sitting on the future. Then, bam! 1992 hits, and Sir Mix-a-Lot drops the booty anthem heard around the world. Suddenly, one man had the courage to say what no one else would. I like big butts, and I cannot lie. So whether you're born with it, squatted it, or just downloaded the latest filter, you too can join the Booty Boom movement. Call now and we'll throw in a free pair of leggings so tight they legally qualify as a second skin. Booty Boom! It's time to back that trend up.
Okay. And we're back to Cuttin' Loose Chronicles game show. And thank you, Francis, for those wonderful words from our advertisement, The Booty Boom. We've got Ashlee, who is leading. Charlene is at a negative she's negative. She's negative. And we've got Ashlee, our lead. All right, Ashlee, take it away. What is your next category?
Let's do going down for 500.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going down.
Right?
Yeah.
While using this machine, sometimes the vibration is too intense. You may need to get off step by step.
Is it a treadmill?
I'm I'm sorry.
Okay, that's Charlene guess.
Charlie, would you like me to repeat?
Please do.
So it's going down. Okay. While using this machine, sometimes the vibration is too intense. You may need it to get off step by step. Going down is the category. You need the points.
I know it now. Come on, Charlene. I'm going to buzz in.
What is a jackhammer?
Ouch. Ow. No, Ashlee, you can steal, but you don't get the points.
All right. Is it an escalator?
Yes. God darn it.
This is harder when you don't make the answer.
You are now, Charlene, at negative 900. Okay, 3 more. We have Finish the Song for 1,000. We have Going Down for 1,000. We have Gum for 500.
I'm going to do Finish the Song lyric for 1,000.
Rolling Down the Street on My 6'4".
Why are they all 90s rap songs? Why do I feel like I am set up to fail?
I know this song, but I can't just pick it up from there.
Rolling down the street.
Smoking endo, sipping on gin and juice, laid back. With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
You got darn right it is.
You're damn right.
You just earned yourself $1,000. She's a smoky for Final Jeopardy. Charlene, get it together.
I feel like Martha Stewart prior to meeting Snoop Dogg.
Hey, she's a badass too.
Oh, now
Did you watch her documentary?
No.
Good. So good.
Ladies.
Yeah.
This is not the time or place. So we've got Ashlee at $1,000 and Charlene at minus 900.
Good job, Charlene.
All right. Let's do gum then, okay? Let's just go with gum.
Okay. For 500.
I hope it's Trident.
What country is best known for the most gum consumption in all of lands?
Like the people that chew the most gum?
Yes.
Is it China?
No. Charlene, would you like to steal?
Sweden.
No. And you're going to, it says a ball grabber.
Yeah.
The answer is Iran.
Iran?
Really?
Probably because they have nothing else to do.
Yeah, I guess so. Are the women allowed to chew gum there?
Probably not.
I don't know, but, you know.
Well, they have the thing on, right? So maybe
This is not part of the game show, but you know what celebrity actor was found with more than 10 pounds of fecal matter in his stomach at his autopsy?
10 pounds of fecal matter? Who eats shit?
No, he was sepsis.
Oh,
Ashlee.
okay, I'm sorry.
Thanks. Way to go.
Way to go low.
The answer is John Wayne.
That's for risking my grandson's life. You do that again and I'll break every bone in your body.
Get out of here.
But you're now negative. No, you're now only at 500. Charlene needs this majorly for the steal. Lastly, we have Going Down for 1,000. Ashlee? Okay.
Let's do it.
If you can steal this, Charlene, you will be at least eligible for Final Jeopardy. Okay?
Ashlee, please don't answer.
This machine has a powerful thrust and makes you moan during descent.
Is it an airplane?
It is.
All right.
It is.
It is.
So Ashlee is now at $1,000. I am sorry, Charlene. You do not qualify for the finals.
Does that mean I have to go home?
You have to leave.
Bye. Before we continue, here's a little break from our sponsors of Cut and Loose Chronicles game show, the Booty Boom.
You too can join the Booty Boom movement. Call now and we'll throw in a free pair of leggings so tight they legally qualify as a second skin. Booty Boom. It's time to back that trend up.
And welcome back. Welcome back, everyone, to Cut and Loose Chronicles game show and the finals. We only have Ashlee because Charlene is a major doofus and she
bombed out.
We had to send her home. The category is Finish the Sane.
Okay.
Actually, Charlene is still in the studio, and if Ashlee gets it wrong, we will let Charlene finish it for the win.
Okay.
Ashlee, the saying is better late than
never.
No. Charlene, the saying is better late than...
Would that be never?
She said never. Hey. Charlene, for the steal, the saying is better late than...
Pregnant.
Yes!
Oh! And she wins. Wow.
Woo, okay. Congratulations, Charlene. You are the champion. I'd like to thank all of you for listening, and until next week, we will see you again. 3 and 3, right back at ya. Have a great night.